extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Ooh, Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto-supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto-supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
So good. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto-supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto-supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Think of Porsche on every day. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto-supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto-supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Story flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence So insights unfold, stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care, hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
It's that time again, Mike. We're back with another episode of Mohawk Table Talk, and you're probably wondering what this sign means, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Welcome back.
Welcome to everybody. If this is your first time watching Mohawk Table Talk, I find that hard to believe. But
I mean, at this point in time, I feel like, just everybody's seen it.
That's right. Everybody worldwide has watched us. So thank you for tuning in on whatever channel you consume your podcasts on. If you're watching live, feel free to jump in, and our producer will shoot your question or comment to us, and we'll do our best to address it. If you're watching the replay, we certainly appreciate it. Feel free to put any comments you like. If you don't know who we are, my name is Mike. This is Nathaniel. We are your hostess with the mostest.
That's right.
And we come to you weekly on Fridays at 12 o'clock-ish to bring you the latest and greatest about the car business. And we don't just bring you national news, but we also bring you local news and let you know what Mohawk Auto Group is doing to be involved in the community. And we can start off with that. We have a few things that are going on.
There's a lot of things going on, and this is the time of the season where we're in the thick of giving back into community events, etc., etc.
A lot of community events, and we're always into giving. But it seems like this part of the year, it's like we have extra.
It's like when everybody is ready to do it. It's weird.
Right.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
It's like everyone is, the new year, everyone's like sleeping off Q4.
That's right.
Then Q2, they're like, all right, I'll do some things. Q3, they're like, all right, we're getting a little more into it. That's like the end of the year. Everybody's like, all right, game time, let's go. So we had a lot of stuff that we have going on here in the Mohawk family. The first thing is going to be our food and hygiene drives that are happening at our Honda store and our Chevy store. So at our Chevrolet store, they are taking in, so they are accepting products that are hygiene products. Those products are actually going to be given to the Wilton Food Pantry. And then here at Mohawk Honda, we are accepting non-perishable food items for the Rotterdam Community Center. So, I mean, everyone knows at this point what a non-perishable item is. So bring those on in, and we are going to be donating those at the end of October, early November. Next, this week for Mohawk Chevrolet, we will actually be in the Breast Cancer Strides Walk in Washington Park. Yours truly will be driving the Silverado EV, and producer Jared will be taking some photos.
We like that, and that is what's the date?
That's Sunday. This Sunday,
Washington Park in Albany. Right? Albany, Washington Park. So, and if for some reason you this is your first time viewing and you don't know where we are Mohawk Auto Group is in upstate New York, right? Mm-hmm. We're in the Albany market, so Albany, New York, and we're coming to you live from the Mohawk Honda studios, which are right outside Schenectady, and then Mohawk Chevrolet is just about 15 miles northeast of here in Saratoga County, and Albany is only 15 miles away from here. So
that's right.
So we're everything we do, those couple food and hygiene drives, and of course the walk and a couple other things we're going to mention are all done to support the local community. We're all about it, and if you haven't heard us before, we live here, we work here, and we play here, so we want to make sure we contribute as much as we can to the community.
100%. So we're also at Bowman Orchards, so if you're out and about grabbing, we're coming to the end of apple season, so make sure you're grabbing your apples. But if you are at Bowman Orchards, you'll see some of our vehicles there. Ellms Farm, which we were just at, you can see the sign behind us. We had the whole team at Ellms Farm for about an hour, and we had all of these pumpkins on the table. And if you could guess the weight of the pumpkin within a pound, you won the pumpkin.
That's pretty cool. And
so I stood with this sign like this, up in the air, and be on the lookout for those photos that will be coming up relatively soon. And some content there. What else we got?
Well, we're only a week or what? 2 weeks away from Halloween.
2 weeks away from Halloween.
What? 2 weeks from now, we're a week and on the 26th. We have both stores are featuring a trunk or treat.
Yep.
Right. So we have trunk or treat coming up, sponsored by the Mohawk Auto Group at Mohawk Chevrolet and at Mohawk Honda. We look forward to giving back. We know there are a lot of times where families, children, even adults, you want to dress up and you don't want to go out there in the streets and be a little, just kind of out there. You're welcome to come to the dealerships. We have a really cool event, and at both stores, the hours, I believe, are 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. If I'm being corrected. Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
So that's October 26th, a few days before Halloween. So the good news is the kids and parents, you get to wear your costume more than just on Halloween. We'd love to see you.
Also, before that, the 24th, if you are at the Double M Haunted Hayrides, come on down. We're going to have a whole group of individuals there at the table. And we're going to be doing some, I call it crazy cornhole, along with a hayride that we're going to vlog. So,
and that's right in, the Double M is in Ballston Spa. Right down the street.
I guess technically it's Malta. You can see it from the dealership.
Right.
So
right off, if you're local and you know where these are, this off exit 12 of the Adirondack Northway, Route 87 North. So off exit 12, just west of there, you'll pass the Chevy store on the left, and then you'll see Double M on the right. And we're going to be there. It's going to be pretty cool.
Don't get me started on November. We're going to hold off on all those events that we're going to be a part of, but make sure that you stay in tune for here at Mohawk Auto Group to see everything that's going down.
We have a lot of things going on, and if you walk through our showroom, if you're going to come in this month, you're going to see those donation areas right in the front of the showroom, right next to the big doors. So please bring that perishable or that hygiene product. We're contributing. We'd love to have everybody who follows us with all the stuff we do contribute to. So feel free to stop by and check it out.
Yeah, and welcome to any of those on the live that is hopping on and saying hello. We'd love to say hello back to you, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook. I think that's all we're on live. But if you're watching the replay on any of the other channels, make sure you say hello, comment any questions you have. We'd love to answer them here on the show. And speaking of questions, is it time to, people say don't reinvent the wheel. But you know what happened with the wheel, Mike? It started off as a wooden tire, right?
That's right.
And then what happened? It came bigger. They put metal around it. Then they learned. Then it was just all straight rubber and wood, and then it became metal and rubber, and now that's kind of where we're at now. But every so often, something gets tweaked to make that tire better, and that is what's happening now with what we would call the sales process, or the way that someone wants to buy a vehicle. And if we are getting in the way of ourselves and not trying to adapt or innovate how a customer buys, we're going to fall away. And that's not something we do here at Mohawk. We're always trying to stay attuned to how someone's trying to buy, what they're trying to buy, and all of those different cues to have the customer have a great experience, right?
Absolutely. And that, like Nate said, that
Mike's been reading a book, by the way, and this is kind of where this is stemming from. He just came back from, Florida? No, Vegas. He was just in Vegas talking about some things, and this is probably a conversation that everybody's having now, is this change and transition into being a customer advocate and learning and understanding them.
That's right. And we use those terms in the most positive sense that they could possibly be, right? At Mohawk Auto Group, we want to be on the side of the customer, right? This isn't an adversarial type of scenario. We're here to assist. We're here to help. A lot of times that ends up that somebody ends up getting a vehicle from us, but sometimes not. But also, it's not just selling a car. There's also service, right? Well, there's also service. So we need to make sure that you keep your family safe and that you have your vehicle available to you and all that kind of thing. So at Mohawk Auto Group, we feel like we're right on the front edge of that curve. And like what Nate mentioned, I was just at a convention where most of the topics were about advancement in technology, advancement in a lot of things. And one of the things that we touched on was the advancement in the sales process, right? And what that means is, I was surrounded by a lot of other progressive dealerships that were really on the forefront of that, which we feel that we are at Mohawk Auto Group. We want to make sure that we're not selling vehicles the way we want to sell them. we're selling the vehicles the way you want to buy them, right? So it makes a lot of sense, right?
Course.
I mean, it's like when you go to, I was privileged enough to go to a nice restaurant in Las Vegas.
Of course.
And guess what the waiter did when he came over?
What did he do?
He said, "What can I do for you? What would you like?" Isn't that amazing that somebody would ask what you like and then bring it? I mean, we want to really be in that same position, although I can't bring you any fancy dishes or anything. What we can do is if you have a question or you want to proceed in a certain way, we want to make sure that we adapt to that. And that's the new way of selling, where the old way was, no. You, the customer, have to do it the way the dealership wants it.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about that because, as someone who obviously goes out to restaurants, and I think anybody here can kind of relate to that because they probably do that more frequent than coming into a dealership. We know on average, it's probably longer now that cars are getting better and last longer, but on average about 7 years, someone will come and buy a new car and the process is there. But when thinking about going to a restaurant, the best waiters, what will you do when you go to the restaurant? Usually I'm like, what's your favorite dish? What do you think? I like this. Oh, I like this on the list. I think this will be good for you, da-da-da-da. They're almost becoming a food consultant for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's really how we've adapted our sales consultants. That's why they're called sales and leasing consultants. They're not salespeople. They're sales and leasing consultants because either you're going to buy or you're going to lease, right? Those are the two options when you're buying a vehicle, selling or buying or leasing. And we're there to get your needs and wants and find the right vehicle and make it affordable for you. So it's no longer, oh, well, this is the car we're selling you, that's all you get.
That's right. There should be options. It seems like just about every time we talk about the sales aspects at Mohawk Auto Group that we talk about that we want to present options to folks. Mm-hmm. We don't say, this is like he just said, this is the only car. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
Here. That might have been how it worked when somebody had a bad experience trying to buy a car 10 years ago or 15 or 20 years ago. But it's just completely different now. Mm-hmm. The modern way of being a dealership where people want to transact is we want to listen to you. So whether you compare it to being that waiter who says, geez, I have a couple specials that you might be interested in. One's kind of a hot and spicy, but if that's not for you today, here's the other option, and then you decide, right? So I think that's being pretty consultative with the options. If you're at a restaurant, if you're at a delership, we constantly talk about things like gas vehicles versus electric vehicles. And we want to be very consultative with giving, maybe the pros, the positives of each, but yet ultimately it's still your decision.
Well, I mean, name another dealership that has a podcast like this that tells you the ins and outs, right? Same concept. Right. It's like we're on this podcast because we know that informed buyers make the best buyers, and we really want informed buyers because, again, if you've done your research ahead of time, there's a few things. You know what you want, right? And if we don't have exactly what you want, we can find you something very similar, but you already know. So the process is actually faster for you because you know what you want, you know an average budget that it costs, right? And obviously we use the Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, but we also are watching the market, so we kind of have a better idea of the fluctuation. Obviously, when you're doing your research, those are always a range. There's never going to be a definitive. But we're giving you all this information so you are an educated buyer because we want your process to be faster, more efficient, so you have the right car, make it affordable for you and your budget, with obviously realistic expectations that you're getting with researching and all that. And we know you're not dumb. We know that you're going and researching the vehicle. We know that you're going out onto the internet to search your Reddits, your all of your social media friends. You're looking at all of these different vehicle websites that are telling you how to buy a vehicle. We understand that. And because of this new age of information, that's how you have to adapt as a car dealership to, one, have a customer good experience, because it's really what we care about. We know that you can go anywhere and buy the same Civic, but why would you come to Mohawk versus a different dealership? It's because the experience is different, and that's really what we are doing here.
That's exactly right. And the biggest difference, like Nate just pointed out, is that we adapt to the way that you'd like to purchase a vehicle or shop for a vehicle, not the way that we want to do it. Right. And I'll give you a couple examples of what I mean by that. Some folks who look for a vehicle the physical car itself, like the driving and the way it sits and smells and all that stuff, is number one. Like, to some people, that's the first thing that they want to do. So they may want to come to the dealership, drive a car, 2, 3, 5, whatever, and then after that, get into any more specifics. Some folks don't want to do that, especially if they're repeat customers and they already know they love a certain type of vehicle, right? And they've already made up their mind based on their research. They may want to maybe see how their trade fits into the process and maybe do the trade first, right? And another person might want to get some lease pricing on the new car first. And those are 3 different things that somebody may want, and it varies by the customer. So what we're advocating for in this new way of selling, the more modern way of selling, I should say, is if you'd like to chat about the trade first, let's do it. We're all for it. If you'd like to test drive the vehicles first, absolutely, let's do it. We're all for it. If you'd like to chat about leasing or have questions about leasing or pricing, let's talk about that first. So we're not set in a certain way that, oh, we can't do this until we do this, or this until we do this. We, as somebody who's been in the business for a long time, I see that is still out there. That's still a thing, right? People are not getting it. Let's talk about that.
Obviously, Mike has been a veteran in the automotive space for a little bit. So what are the differences you're seeing now versus what you used to see?
I see.
And are you happy about it?
Well, there's some goods, and there's some goods and there's bads, because I guess I can't point out another profession, but just like anything, there's a little bit of a stigma around buying a car for some people. A lot of people just love it, and they've had seamless transactions and everything has been great and can't wait to buy their next car. But there are some folks who kind of give us the old, oh, I hate doing this. And that comes from, and that might be a little extreme saying they hate it, but that feeling, that negativity comes from something. And my belief is that comes from maybe an experience that they had previously, 100%. At another dealer or wherever they had it. And if there's anything that I can point out that I don't love, is that there could still be some dealerships out there in the universe that still operate like it's 10 or 20 years ago or 30 years ago, when the consumers didn't have all the same information that we have, right? It's a very efficient market now where everybody in general has the same information. It's just a question of where can I get the best service, right? Service is the new currency, as in customer service is the new currency. And, it's not about, geez, we're not going to do this until you do this. So if there's anything that I, don't love, it's that there could still be dealerships out there. And some folks don't realize that when you come to a dealer like Mohawk Auto Group at Mohawk Honda or Mohawk Chevrolet, that we are different, and we'd love it if those folks gave us a try, because it doesn't have to be like that negative experience they had before. 100%. So if there's anything that I wanted to call out, it's that don't use that one brush and paint everybody with that single brush. To give us a try, because we're happy to adapt to the way you'd like to do it.
And I think that's one thing that like always sticks out to me, is that we, although anecdotally, we get those customers who ask us a lot of other ones I've been to. And that's the experience you get when you come in. It's constant. And obviously we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but we try everything we can. We take customer feedback seriously, and that
the good news is, if you just experienced that pause and you heard Nate on my mic, his battery's dead. That's it. He's about to fire it back up. So if you're good at lip reading, you heard what he said in the last 3 minutes.
Check, 1, 2, check.
All right, now
we're back at it. I don't even know where it was. Yeah, just talk about the different experience.
Right. What Nate was saying, I'll just paraphrase briefly, is that we welcome those shoppers who maybe didn't have a great experience before. What we want to do here, and the point of our podcast, why we even started this podcast, was to make sure that we informed anybody who would like to listen, in the business, out of the business, whether you're in the market for a car or not in the market for a car. We want to give you as much information about what goes on in our brains, kind of in our world as possible. And if there's any kind of proof in anything, like Nate said a few minutes ago, hopefully you heard him. What other dealer group does that, right? What other dealers, want to give the shopper as much information as possible? The days where it was kind of a what do they call it? A poker game where I'm not going to tell you this and that.
I'm not going to show you my hand until I absolutely have to.
Right. That was decades ago, at least in our opinion. And hopefully somebody didn't have an experience somewhere else where that's still going on today, because there's much more information available to everybody, and we want to make sure that we push that along. So Nate had asked me a few minutes ago, hopefully you heard him, what are my feelings about this, that could be good or bad, and I had just said, geez, it's the only thing that's a little disheartening is there could still be dealers out there that maybe are not informing their customers, or not adapting to the way somebody wants to buy a car. And some customers in their mind might think that all dealerships are like that. And we're certainly proof that there are dealers that are not like that, and that we want to adapt. So hopefully that addresses what everybody was asking, because what is Mike and Nate talking about today? Like, why should I even listen to this? That's the reason. We want to make sure that it's not just a promotional spot, but we want to inform you and let you know that any way you'd like to move that process through of buying a car, we're happy to help.
We're here for you.
Yeah, test drive first, trade, whatever you want to do. We're happy to help.
Absolutely.
Did they get any of your mic on there, I hope?
I think so. We'll have to go back and watch the replay, but...
it was only like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, all right.
Only about 30 seconds. That's good.
That's right. So just to kind of put a stamp on that, the idea, and Nate started out talking about where I just was talking about some new, most modern, futuristic type of things, software solutions and things that are coming down the pike, which we're happy to share. Any improvements that we can make in our process at Mohawk will just help our staff here, our team members, and our customers. And we want to be as progressive as possible. So when you call the dealership or chat with us, and we have any assistance from AI or any other type of data, it's all to try to make things more efficient for you as the customer.
Solid. One question I would ask anybody that's watching, and I think that most people come in, they say, well, I have this firm price I have to get to. My question to you would be, is that exactly what you're thinking, or is there something deeper? Are you, personally, I think that everyone has their budget, of course. However, are you willing to stretch that budget just a tad, an extra 500, an extra 1,000, if it does meet the qualifications you're looking for, if it has everything you're looking for, with the experience that you receive is better than you've received in the past? Do you think you would stretch your budget for a better business? The second question that I would pose to Mike is that, and this is when people come in, right? We talked about this earlier. Someone comes in on their trade, but they looked at that, or they got a trade appraisal probably a month, 2 months. They weren't ready. They come back, and that trade appraisal is different than what it was 2 months ago. Why would that be different than what they were expecting when they first came in? Yeah,
so the first thing is we want to make sure that we're communicating 100% about anything, whether it's the trade, whether it's a difference in the trade, or any part of the transaction. So at Mohawk Auto Group, what we can promise is that we'll be fully transparent with the reasons why, and then explaining the reasons why are very important. So, if we had a specific example of a trade, it certainly could be a difference in the market, right? To answer Nate's question about why would that be different? It could be a difference in the market. That could be a lot of factors. It could be a difference in condition, right? And a lot of times when somebody starts shopping, we know that you don't decide to buy a car in 5 minutes. It could be a day, could be a week, could be a month, could be 6 months. And things can change over that period of time.
Right.
The good news is we have a lot of technology at both stores where we can capture the exact condition of a vehicle when we looked at it first time. And then if we needed to revisit that, say 6 months later, when maybe you were ready to do something at that point, we can compare the two and say, hey, we know the condition was this before, And now the condition is a little bit different because, you know, you were at that supermarket and you didn't realize that somebody ran into the back of your car or scraped it, or maybe you did it, you didn't realize it. But we have that. So at least we have factual information to share with you as to why there might need to be an adjustment.
Right.
Or you may not have realized that over the summer because you had a lot of cool plans, went on vacation, but you put 3,000 miles on your car in a couple months and or more, and you know that mileage can sometimes affect it because of course a car with more mileage may not be worth the same as one with less mileage.
Right.
So you know those are a couple examples of how we would be super transparent with that. Ultimately, it comes down to the data and the information that we have, and we want to share it with you and be as transparent as we possibly can. So hopefully that's some solace to somebody, especially if you're in that specific situation. But as always, if you have any questions, just ask us.
Yeah, and that's the new way of buying, the new way of asking questions to make sure that you're an informed buyer, because we know, again, informed buyers are the best buyers.
Informed buyers are the best buyers.
That's right, and that's what we believe here at Mohawk. And I think that's what we'll sign off with as well.
That's right.
I think we did it a lot.
We went full circle. We talked about some things that we're involved with here in the local community, so don't forget those. Feel free to stop by either showroom, even if you're not interested in chatting about a car or service. Stop by. We're happy to push those donations onto the respective communities that we're helping. So that's great. And also we were able to touch on Mohawk Auto Group and our adaptation to the new model of selling. We want to do it your way. I think that slogan is probably taken by somebody, so we won't mention it. But we want to help and consult with you.
Educated buyers are the best buyers. I'm coining that term.
That's right.
Let's see who trademarked it. Well, if we don't get shut down, at least you'll be able to listen to the podcast. So thank you, everybody. This is Mohawk Table Talk, where we come to you live every Friday at 12-ish. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much, and we'll see you next Friday. 12 o'clock-ish.
Same time.
Mohawk Table Talk here in the Mohawk Studios.